So this week, I've just done a video just describing these little things because what I've done so far is this week, I can't remember when I did the last video, whenever it was. Anyway, this week I did a slight change in plan. I did, end of last week, I was supposed to just do like the normal routine, blah, 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 all the rest of it. But this week instead, I actually had to move my Friday onto the Sunday to do the last week's full block of training. And the Sunday was a ripper. It was great. It was, for some reason, my power was massively up. Had great fun. 2.5 hours or 70k or so, just absolutely blasting it. Fantastic. So that was one thing. Then on to the Monday, tried to do intervals after having such a huge high intensity one on the Sunday. The intervals, got through them, but they were kind of slightly more laborious. Tuesday, that brought us into doing like the long hour, 5-hour sessions into the zone 2 region. I completely chilled out. It was great fun. It was really nice. So I did the usual variation of my usual Tuesday night 5-hour loop, but then this time I actually managed to go and say, well, what's down that route? What's going that way? Nice. It's sunny in the UK at the moment. The weather's nice. The wind had dropped enough because it has been really quite breezy. So in that case, I could just actually enjoy riding. Did the 5 hours. I got back and it was England had been playing down at Trent Bridge, so there was traffic everywhere, people all over the pavements. And I kind of like went through it. Everybody's really quiet and muted, and then it was only later on when I got home I found that they played Senegal and got beaten. I don't know if it means anything, but Senegal beat us at Trent Bridge. There you go. Then that takes you on to Wednesday. Wednesday was recovery, which was nice and easy because that was in here on Zwift. 30 minutes during lunchtime just to spin the legs out. Didn't need that much, so just chat to a few friends and caught up with a few bits and pieces. Done practicing on Thursday. Because I've got the plan, I'm going to be doing a longer ride on this weekend. There's some logistics with timings, all the rest of it. I'm going to maybe be doing 350 kilometers or so on Saturday going into Sunday. So on Thursday I did a more relaxed ride. I haven't focused on doing any high intensity stuff, especially I front loaded that at the start of the week with the Sunday going into the Monday. So on to Thursday morning's one. I opted just to take out the Concorde and just, it was great. It was nice weather, it was early morning, the sunshine, all the rest of it. Just cruise and have some fun. So that was that. Then Friday being today, I don't have to ride today. I didn't ride today because I could have a lie in and all the rest of it and catch up with some sleep because I'm going to be sleep deprived on Sunday. So that's what happened. And then other minor things, I broke the helmet, so the cradle inside it snapped, so I've got a replacement one. I haven't managed to fix that. One or two other things that I've done is there's another video which I'm going to share on the LEL Facebook page and also on YouTube and blog and that stuff. These little devices which I've made up. So my Campag EPS system with these chargers which are big and bulky are at risk of being lost, damaged in a drop bag, misplaced. To replace it is 90 quid and it's huge, you can't stick that in your pocket. I've built these off eBay parts and someone's instructions from YouTube. So I'll post a cross link to that. And I've even made a fancy one, so here's my Garmin quarter turn charger. I can attach it, boom, on it goes, and then do it the other way around. Lego bricks, that can go underneath, that can charge up under the stem, that's got USB-C, which means that it can charge in like that. All good, and then it's all fastened and neat, and I've got a little switch to switch it on and off. There you go. I'm quite pleased with these. I think everybody else is a bit not miffed by it, but nonplussed. But it was a little accomplishment for a man in his 40s playing around with the soldering iron. Quite happy with it. So that's what I've made. That's what I've done. That goes in towards LEL prep. I'm going to share the information with other people. I know that those that are riding SRAM with their detachable batteries won't have these problems, but they're riding SRAM. I think one of the rules for this shed should be no SRAM is allowed. Maybe unless you gift it to me, unless I get gifted a bike which is dripping with really nice Axis level or the top end SRAM stuff with all the wireless E-tap and all the rest of it, brilliant. Yeah, gift that to me, but I'm not buying any. I like my Campag. Shimano's very practical. Shimano's good, but the Campag stuff, like that one with the EPS, yeah, I love that. And I've also gone, the little blue bike is now going vintage Campag as well, even sexier. So which is a slight distraction from what I'm supposed to be talking about. Anyway, that's the updates for this week. So there'll be more riding to do this week because I haven't done the Sunday one, Saturday and Sunday. It all depends on what time I set off and what the plans with the family and general meetings. Options at 305 kilometres, which is a more risky route because it's one I intend to do in the later hours because it's got more main roads, and those more main roads will be quieter at night time. So if I then do a shorter but higher intensity, not relatively higher intensity, but fast A road one, I can zip around. So that's one option. I've got an intermediate one which takes some of those faster roads, and they've got the quieter roads at 175. I've got one which takes quieter roads at 405, 404 kilometres. But I don't think I've got the time to fit in the 404 kilometres. So it's likely to be the 305 or the 375 or 351, whichever, thereabouts. But that's the plan. That's where the training's going. I had a look back at old data in terms of where I was 2017, because I thought 2017 was one of the time periods where I was really fit. I'm not far off that, or I think my fitness is different to what it was then. When I was going into Lell the first time and I was doing Edinburgh, London, slightly different flavour of fitness, but I'm about as fit as I was. Although I'm going to go back to some, once I can fit it into the scheduling, I'll go back to some of the workouts I did in 2016, 2017, because they actually were really quite effective. I have noticed things like my heart rate max. I was regularly hitting above 161. I was regularly hitting into nearly the 170s. My heart rate these days doesn't go that high. I can be into the 150s, top end of 150s. 161 is roughly my heart rate max, but I'm much more comfortable working at a much lower heart rate, but a lot longer, a hell of a lot longer, which is slightly different. So I need to stretch that heart rate max a bit. So that's what I will work on, but not when I'm doing some other projects. That's the updates for this week. I'll probably see if I can get something either updated end of Sunday, depending how exhausted I am, or it'll be sometime the following week. But I will then put YouTube one with these things as advice to other riders using Campag onto the Facebook page and stuff. There you go.